Pokemon has done it again. The leaks for the Indigo Disk are insane. They left so much data in the Teal DLC. We're gonna break down all the leaks for you guys today. Let's dive in. All right, so I'm not kidding when I say this. They totally dropped the ball once again. Historically, Pokemon has had a precedent of leaving information in their games that give us insight into the future of the franchise. And in this case, there's a lot of data that was left in the Teal DLC files that gives us a ton of information about the Indigo Disk. Now, I already did a separate video kind of talking about the Pokedex and the Pokemon that are returning. So if you want to check that one out, I'll put it in the description below. But today we're going to talk about a lot of different things that have kind of come in the community regarding the Elite Four in the Blueberry Disk or the Blueberry Academy, regarding potential new evolutions and all sorts of stuff. So strap in, we're going to have some fun and we're going to break it all down. First things first. All right, listen, the Riddler had posted going back in August an image of Black and White's Black City and White Forest and us trying to determine like what this could actually mean. It turned out that the Black City was actually in reference to Archaludon, which is the new Duraludon form. We do know that Indigo Disk and Blueberry Academy does take place in Unova, so it makes sense that this new Pokemon would exist there given all the bridges and the references there. But we still had this kind of white tree that was a little bit unsolved. And then the Riddler also posted the Caduceus, which is a staff with the two snakes intertwining and coming up to the top, which is often used in the medical field as a symbol there, and saying that it's connected to Galar, doesn't really have to be connected to any of the three-part riddles. And it does turn out there was a thought that was kind of being passed around the community for a while about Dipplin and the fact that Dipplin would potentially have another evolution. And it seems as though that is actually exactly where we're headed. Dipplin can actually carry the Eviolite in the Teal DLC right now, and it works. Why would the Eviolite work on a Dipplin if it didn't have an evolved form? For those who don't know, Eviolite is an item that boosts the defense and special defense stats of unevolved Pokemon or Pokemon that haven't reached their final form. So it works on things like Porygon 2 because it evolves into Porygon Z. So if it works on Dipplin, that means Dipplin's gonna evolve. And the other piece of this puzzle is that we know that through the lore, Dipplin is actually two different worms inside the apple. One that represents the tail, one that represents the head. And with the riddles that we have from Riddler Coup, the pieces that we've seen with the Eviolite and the DATAMINE from Caphotix and Matt Ukana and all these guys' sires, we can kind of conclude that not only is Dipplin evolving, but the two snakes are going to intertwine and cross their way up kind of the little stick that sticks out of the top of Dipplin. So it's all but confirmed at this point. In fact, Caphotix actually goes on to say that the Indigo Disk DLC, Dipplin will likely get a new evolution. The game data has defined evolution, stubbed like the Hisui evolutions, and holding Eviolite works. So again, strap in, the Dipplin evolution is almost guaranteed in the DLC, but it gets spicier, right? Because that's not even it. Like, there's so much more to uncover here that we've kind of been able to figure out through the data mine and through other sources. And speaking of spicy, I've got a sweet giveaway going on right now that you guys can enter for free to win a Nintendo Switch OLED. You can get a $100 gift card to the eShop, a Kickstarter booster box for Lustrals, and a promo pack. And all you gotta do is enter the giveaway in the description below. It's just a Gleam link. Go there, you follow us on social media, check out my game of Lustrals, and you'll be good to go. You have a chance to win a Switch. It's totally free to enter. There's no reason why you shouldn't. I appreciate you guys checking it out. But if you don't know, I'm creating my own game called The Lustrals. We launched on Kickstarter last year, raised $1.4 million, and we're delivering our Kickstarter right now to backers. We're almost finished, so we're gonna have product available for sale in the next couple weeks. And then we're kicking off the hype season for Lustrals. It's gonna be amazing. So make sure you guys follow us on social media and enter the giveaway for free for a chance to win a Switch. Don't miss out. Only a few days left on that giveaway. Now, if we go back to Riddler Coup, he had posted a picture of the BB League. Now, if you don't know, it's believed that in the Blueberry Academy, there's going to be an Elite Four that takes place, and we kind of have this image of these four different trainers. You've got the guy who's an ancestor of Drayden, you've got kind of this girl, another girl, and then you have kind of the chef guy. And based on the data mine, we actually know what types these Pokemon are. The data mine types are actually that it's gonna be Fire, Fairy, Steel, Dragon. So based on the image, you can kind of match them up together and say, okay, like this one's obviously, you know, we obviously know which one the dragon one is. We know the cook is fire. We know that the girl is going to be fairy, and then the other one is going to be steel. So we know what the different types are of this Elite Four. But there's been a lot of talks about the girl, the girl on the top right, and what Pokemon she's going to have. And now the latest thought is that she's actually going to have a Golurk, and a special fairy type Golurk. So a potential new form of Golurk, but I'll kind of get back to that in a little bit. Riddler Coup goes on to post that the Blueberry Academy champion is quite obvious, and his ace would, you know, well, guys, listen, if you haven't connected the dots yet, it's very clear who the champion is going to be in the Blueberry Academy. It's going to be Kieran. That's right, one of our primary rivals in the Teal DLC. Kieran happens to have his signature Pokemon being Dipplin, And we know that there's going to be character progression of Kieran and Carmine going into the Blueberry Academy and the Indigo Disk, and it would make perfect sense for him to work his way up the ranks and ultimately become the champion that you end up facing. This is mind-blowing, and he is going to have his signature Pokemon be the evolved Dipplin, the new Pokemon that's kind of based on the Caduceus staff. It's all coming together. I don't think I'm crazy. I think everything kind of lines up perfectly that this is going to be how it throws down. So keep an eye out for that as we go to the Indigo Disk. It's very likely that Kieran is going to have the Dipplin Evo. He's going to be the champion, and he's going to be the ultimate kind of final test for us in our return to Unova. Now the leaks get a little spicier as there's new battle state forms found for the Box Legends and Terapagos, similar to Ogerpon. So this got posted around. It was a Chinese post that I guess got translated, and then it kind of got passed around with the dataminers and stuff. But basically it reads, Koraidon, Miraidon, and Terapagos will each get a battle state, similar to Ogerpon in DLC 1. Now, if you know, Ogerpon can terastallize into specific types, and then it kind of gets a second effect after it does so. And it says, in other words, the Box Legendary will get more powerful in DLC 2. Now, one thing to note is we believe that in DLC 2, we're going to have the ability to kind of fly limitlessly, right? Like you can fly indefinitely. So it's possible that we do get upgraded forms for these legendary Pokemon. So these battle states were posted even further. There was some translations done, one of which was Sutami translating Super Electric Cannon. The other one was Whimsical or Capricious Laser. And then the last one was Shining Shell and Terra Shell. And then it talks about some different characters and their names and so on and so forth. The thought right now is that the Super Electric Cannon could be for Drayden's Archaludon. It probably gets a potential Terra Electric form, which makes use of its signature move Electro Shot. Remember, it does have a signature move as an electric type. It's possible that it gets the Super Electric Cannon battle form stage where it can just fire off these cannons. And then the thought now is that the Whimsical Laser is actually going to be Lacey's Golurk, the Fairy type Elite Four member that we're going to be facing. It's going to turn Terra Fairy, and it's going to turn into its cannon form. So it seems as though maybe Golurk isn't actually getting a new form, but maybe it gets the Terra to Fairy, and it turns into a cannon form. For those that don't know, Golurk has this like super cool unused cannon form that really hasn't been seen. It's possible we're finally going to see that. And it's also possible that we might see Golurk flying, because my dude turns into a jet and you just straight up fly away, which is pretty cool. Another point on this that could be interesting, if it's not the Golurk speculation, Pokesutami says, great find. I didn't even have half the brain to think of Pokemon natures, but Kimaguri, if I'm saying that right, is actually a translation to quirky. So instead of it being like whimsical or capricious cannon, it might be quirky cannon. And it just so happens that the box legendaries in the game are actually locked to be quirky nature. So whether that's related or not, it's a bit unclear, but I think we're on the right direction here. So a lot of really cool stuff for the Indigo Disk that has been leaking and tons of information. I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out. To take it a step further, Matt Yukana has found in the datamine that there is a new type added. This new type is Index 20. Index 19 is a magic value that the game uses to force using Terra types instead of overriding Terra types. So this is presumably used for the 19th Terra type, and it's actually not a type for Pokemon, but still worth noting. So there's a lot for us to uncover as we head towards the Indigo Disk. We don't have a release date yet, but we're knowing it's going to be winter, so it's very possible it comes out in November or December, maybe January if they're going to be a little late on it, but I'm thinking we'll probably see it around November time. And I think we're going to see a lot of really cool things. Dipplin getting an evolution, something special with the box cover legendaries. There may be something really cool with Golurk getting a new form, or that may just be a little bit unclear. And we know that these various Elite Four members are going to be coming back, and we have a really good idea of who the champion of the Blueberry Academy might actually end up being. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below, and of course subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And don't forget to enter our epic giveaway to check out my game Alestrals, which will be launching on our store shop alestrals.com very soon, just a few more weeks. We're just finishing up our Kickstarter fulfillment. Thanks for watching, guys. I love y'all, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.